Looks like Marvel is determined not to learn their lesson if this rumor is true. The rumor has it that Marvel is eyeing Hunter Schafer to cast as Mystique in an upcoming X-Men movie. We have no idea the source for this. It came from an account on X called Marvel News, which is notorious for disreputable outlet.
Take this, however the biggest grain of salt you've ever seen was, take this with an even bigger grain of salt than that. But it's an interesting discussion to have because there's more stuff going on with Marvel than just this. It's not just this casting. There's still the talk about Storm casting. There's talk of what was the other one? T'Challa recasting Black Panther. There's a lot of news in this realm right now. They've got good publicity going on with the success of Deadpool and Wolverine. They had good publicity going on with Daredevil Born Again until the showrunners' statements that were made yesterday. If you want to hear more about that, I have a video coming out about that today, I believe at 8 p.m., but I'll add a little bit to it here. But Hunter Schafer.
Right. So in case you were unaware, Hunter Schafer has risen to fame from roles in Euphoria, also a role in the Hunger Games prequel that starred Rachel Zegler, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Hunter Schafer is trans, meaning Hunter Schafer is biologically male and identifies as a woman. So the rumor is that Marvel is planning to cast a trans woman to play Mystique, which would not go over well, especially not in this day and age where everyone is talking about a vibe shift and wokeness is dead. If wokeness is dead, how is this possible? I don't see it happening.
I think that Marvel News knows what bait they need to run with to engage. I guess they're not verified on X, so they're not even monetized. So they're just doing it for the love of the game. That's even more impressive. They're like,
I actually think there's a feature where you can be verified and have ad revenue enabled without showing a check mark.
It's funnier if they're just in it for they're just like, I'm just here to spread disinfo. They're just here to spread
chaos and discord everywhere. So here were some of the responses I saw, because I immediately saw some people hate the idea, others are defending it and dying on this hill. One person commented, have they considered getting a woman to play Mystique?
Well, so if you don't know, the character was originally played by Rebecca Romijn and then by Jennifer Lawrence. Those are fairly big shoes to fill, though. A lot of people had their critiques, especially of Jennifer Lawrence, who never wanted to be in the makeup. So she was always, in the first movie, she was in the makeup more in her blue with the yellow eyes. After that, Jennifer Lawrence does Hunger Games and becomes a bigger star. Suddenly, she's not in the makeup as often.
What year was she playing Mystique? I'm pretty sure Hunger Games was her breakout role.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, once she does Hunger Games, she's a bigger star. They're not going to put her in the makeup as much, and she has more leverage to just be like, I don't want to wear the fucking makeup. Yeah, I don't blame her. Actually, I do blame her because it's bad. I don't blame her on a personal level. On a geek level, you should wear your costume.
Right.
You should wear your costume.
But here is the clapback that everyone is using to justify this decision. They're saying Mystique is a shapeshifter and therefore gender fluid. No. So you should cast a trans actor to play this character. Here, they responded, Mystique is literally a shapeshifter? Who gives an F? Someone responded saying her shapeshifting is from blue female mutant to human, not trans shapeshifting. It's mutant to human, unless you're saying trans are mutants. And then this person responded, Mystique can transform into any gender. Am I wrong?
This is
so
true.
Why does it matter if she's trans? Hunter Schafer is literally perfect for the role for many reasons. You're just transphobic.
If I remember reading correctly, I don't read the modern runs of Marvel Comics, but that she's married to Irene Adler, Destiny, and the idea was then to shapeshift into a man so that they could have a kid. I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember very well. I just remember listening to videos about that. So that's on brand. I just don't think that they're going to go that far in the movies. It's one thing to do that in a comics run, whether you want to talk about the Hellfire Gala or all this other X-Men stuff Krakoa, the stuff that nobody's actually reading anymore. Bringing that to the big screen, I would hope that there is a coke-snorting executive somewhere who's got the good sense to come up from his line and say, that just doesn't seem like a good idea.
Another person who doesn't think this is a good idea said, isn't this a dude? Don't disrespect Mystique like that. And someone responded to them saying, Mystique repeatedly shapeshifts into men. What on earth are you talking about, dude? And Hunter Schafer is clearly a woman? Question mark? I wouldn't say it's that much of a settled issue, but another person said, I never participate in fan casting. It just feels like a waste of time. But for once, this is perfect. I love Hunter Schafer. She can eat this up. And with the recent development of Mystique in how they're gender fluid and actually change sex, this would be too perfect.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't watch any of Hunter Schafer's other stuff. Then I did see Hunter. What was it? Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. That was the last time I saw Hunter Schafer in anything.
Same. I didn't watch Euphoria.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of things that Hunter Schafer is in. Another person said, I've always viewed Mystique as trans, so casting Hunter Schafer would be groundbreaking. Other than FX Pose, which was 4 years ago, and shorts here and there, Disney has a terrible track record with trans representation. Hopefully they're brave enough to do this.
This is the thing now where you can't tell any X-Men stories without making it an LGBTQ allegory.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be that deep. If I remember correctly, the whole point behind Mutants was they wanted a way to create characters without backstories because it was a narrative short to get there.
Well, there was some credence to the fact that it was
it's
partly an allegory for...
Yes, but it's overdone, and it's been done to death now.
Yeah.
It was fresh and new at one point. It's not fresh and new
That was also
anymore.
back at a time when gay marriage was seen as a civil rights issue.
Yeah.
Like that was the battlefront for civil rights in the early 2010s.
I still maintain that that's one of the reasons why Gen Z feels cheated, is that millennials had that great cause that they felt that they could take up arms for.
Yeah.
And Gen Z just never really had that because of, equal under the law. Look, there's other casting rumors that are going on right now. The one I do like is DeWanda Wise as Storm, though a lot of people don't know if they like that. I like DeWanda Wise. I think she's great. Now, Io Edebiri, I wouldn't do that.
No. I've seen calls for Cynthia Erivo because Cynthia Erivo said Storm is her dream role.
This one, I'm guessing that
as well
literally...
as Zendaya.
I'm guessing nobody would like this idea but me, because I'm the only one who seems to like John David Washington as an actor. It's literally probably like leftover because I like his dad so much, because I love Denzel Washington as an actor. But one of the rumors that I saw going around last week was that they want to cast John David Washington as T'Challa. I don't know about that. I am interested to see. I think it is time to recast T'Challa. I think they made a mistake by not recasting for Wakanda Forever, especially with all the outs there are, given the multiverse, that you could explain why he looks different. It would just be such an easy thing to do. But there's a lot of stuff on the horizon. There's also talk about a new Ghost Rider coming out. No Nicolas Cage involved with that. I think they'll go with the Robbie route for that one. But I don't know. I think that this is a bait on behalf of Marvel News, and most people don't take Marvel News seriously.
Yeah.
But at the same time, given the fact that the showrunner of the upcoming Daredevil Born Again came out in a recent interview talking about how he wants to get away from the back and forth dialogue talking about what it means to be a superhero, as if that was a bad thing. Now, of course, the quote is much longer than that and it's kind of lacking context. But given that seems to be a gross misunderstanding of how Netflix Daredevil was actually appreciated by the fans, they're not out of the woods yet. There isn't a whole lot of buzz going on right now for Captain America Brave New World. The projections have gone down. I don't believe the lie that the budget was $180 million. I think the first cut of the movie, before they reshot it 2 or 3 times, was probably $180 million. But I look forward to seeing the likes of Valiant Renegade debunking that once the financial statements come out in the future, the tax filings and everything like that. But Marvel has a long way to go if they want to get out of the woods. If they want more successes like Deadpool and Wolverine, it's not going to come that easy, and it's going to take 3 to 5 years before people trust them again, if that's even possible.
And things are looking no better on the streaming front, according to a new report in Deadline. Streaming franchises, which include Marvel and Star Wars and even Rings of Power, all underperformed in 2024. The second season of Rings of Power was down 60% in minutes watched. Disney Plus didn't fare much better with offerings like Echo and Agatha All Along, which underperformed all previous MCU shows.
It is.
They were the least watched MCU shows yet.
It is fair to point out that those are also the cheapest shows that they made, so it's less of a financial risk. I did tweet this. I just thought this, if you guys want some context for the likes of something like The Acolyte, which they did list as the second most watched Disney Plus original behind Percy Jackson, which of course nobody even knew had a new
I didn't
season.
see anyone talking about the Percy Jackson series.
So here's the thing. The Acolyte had 2.7 billion minutes, which equals out to about 45 million hours watched. Netflix made a show called Fool Me Once, which was the exact same number of episodes, which nobody in the world has heard of. 41 billion minutes watched, which equals out to 689 million hours.
Mogged.
When it comes to IP, it may still be king at the box office. When it comes to streaming, king is whatever the hell Netflix wants it to be.
Yeah, true. Yeah. They're still on top, and they're going to stay that way. But
well, no, and people used to laugh at them, right? Because they stopped buying up, or they stopped licensing IP. They started focusing on making their own stuff. You go through those charts week in and week out. 7 of those 10 are Netflix shows. The other one is like Landman or something from Taylor Sheridan, and some other sci-fi show, which is the flavor of the week that week. Otherwise, Netflix supremacy, unfortunately.
You can owe like most of those 2.7 billion minutes watched for The Acolyte to hate watching.
Yeah.
And even that didn't set the precedent for them to get a second season.
And it doesn't work anyways. Look at
the water now.
The Rings of Power dropped 60%. Velma, nobody talked about Velma season 2 after all the hate watching in season 1. Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
Yep. Disney, Marvel, Lucasfilm, they have a long way to go.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.